So, got a pretty cool episode here for you today. Doing something cool, something fun. In Fox Studios. So, hope you enjoy.
On the desk.
3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Hope everybody out there is off to an amazing week. As you can see by the intro, man, this off season was fun for the commercial aspects again, for me anyway. And it's really cool to see the commercials coming back for the racing like this, because I'm gonna tell you, since about 2018. Things kind of panned off a lot after 2018 season. So it's really cool to have the commercials coming back. I did a few myself over the off season. Still some taking place now. So man, it's just cool to have this stuff back. But I'm gonna tell you, man, when you do these commercials, especially when you do pit crew, you never know what to expect in the aspects of that's going to take place once you get there. And what I mean by this is because a lot of these commercials, these are big productions, and they hire directors that come in that know absolutely nothing about racing. They're there for their directorial aspects, and you kind of have to guide them along. Us guys that have been in racing and in pit crew, stuff like that, you kind of guide them along to set up some scenes. And thankfully, most are very acceptive to this right here. And this one was no different in this case, especially with the scenario that played out with it. So a fun day with all of this. And what I mean by this right here is I want to show you something from, I think it's 2018 with Elliott Sadler, for One Main Financial. You can see as we do this commercial, the car's coming in the wrong way. The fuel filler is on the wrong side. I'm the rear tire changer, hit my damn hip on the wing, hurt like hell. But we got to choreograph this with me and the fuel man, because everything's just wrong the way it's set up. But that's the way on the shot sheet it is, and that's what you have to do. And thankfully, it all looks good when it's done. But there's little things some people might pick up that are always a little crazy. So we try our best to make it as realistic as possible. Now, with this commercial right here, this one was interesting because I get notices from my agent of what I'm going to audition for and everything else. And this one, come across this Fox 1 pit crew. So I'm like, hell yeah, pit crew, let's go. Let's keep this going. And again, you don't know what you're going to do. And then I got the storyboards. And as soon as I got the storyboards, I'm like, okay, I know who this is. That's Harvick and Bowyer. Hell yeah, let's go. Let's roll with this one. And as I got going down and looking through, I'm like, okay, we're changing a tire on an office chair. This is new. Let's do it. And that's exactly what we did. So I'm going to let you look at the commercial, and then I'm going to show you some of the behind the scenes that took place with this.
We are almost live.
What are you doing? I've got a loose wheel. What? Right front vibration. We are streaming live on Fox 1.
So as you may notice with this is a 15-second commercial. And this was what was wild to start with, because we didn't know this going into it to start with. I really didn't read the fine print enough to get to that's what it was. But then we're trying to figure out, we got to do a pit stop, plus they got to do their lines, everything else in 15 seconds. Are we going to be able to make this work? And damn sure enough, we did. And I think it turned out really beautifully, the way everything played out. But I want to show you again some of the behind the scenes, because if you take a look right here, you see how Harvick comes across in the chair. There's a lot of movie magic that goes into this, and this is what it is right here, because this is a gentleman who had a pole attached to the chair to pull him across over to us to do the actual pit stop. And these are the things that take place that are really cool, because, you got to look at Harvick. He's sitting on his chair. He's pulling an office chair, so the wheels got to be perfect. Everything's got to be right so he don't fall out of the chair or anything. And then we had a separate chair that we actually used for the pit stop that had the bigger wheels on it. That made it interesting. But man, just such a cool aspect how everything's laid out. And one of the other wild parts about this, I want you to look right here. You can see this pit wall right here. This is not an actual pit wall. This was a foam wall. This is basically 1x4s and a plywood with a styrofoam base on it that, man, I'm going to tell you, looked amazing. It looked like a real pit stall. The floor is made of slabs of wood that are done up to look like a pit road, and damn if it didn't. And the pit wall, just an amazing job with this. Bad part about it, though, it's made of styrofoam. So when we first initially started doing the stops, as you're stepping on it, it's damaging the wall, which was going to show up on camera. So for me, the fuel man and the jack man, we had to run around the edge of the wall down by the pit carts and come back to meet these guys just on time to make all this stuff happen. And for me, I'm the tire carrier in this situation. I had to jump over that pole that the guy was pulling on and then get down there to put that wheel on. And I'm going to tell you, putting that little tire on that one stud, it looks like it ought to be easy, but it wasn't. But I'm going to tell you, we did a damn good job. I don't think I missed it but a couple times on a couple takes where I didn't hit it perfectly on there. And that's not a pat on my back. It's just, I don't know how the hell we did it and got through it like that. But we did really amazing on that aspect. Did hit my head on the fuel canister there a couple times, but things like that do happen. But thankfully, I didn't fall, didn't ruin the shot, didn't knock Harvick out of the chair or anything like that. So that was all good in the end. But man, I want to show you this right here too for anybody who really knows racing. You know who Andy Hillenberg is with Fast Track. Had the driving school in ARCA series and everything else. Well, Andy, they supply a lot of the stuff for these commercials as well as a lot of the equipment and everything that takes place with this. And it's always cool for us guys who have been in the sport for a long time, because a lot of the equipment that's used on these things, right, for commercials and things, a lot of the equipment that's in these toolboxes and all these things are old defunct teams' equipment. So it's like a trip down memory lane to pull stuff out, because you can get springs out or a jack stand, and you're like, oh, this is MB2 motors. There's just different things that you just had forgotten about. You forgot about these teams, and you pull them out. So it's like a trip down memory lane to see them. But Andy, he also, he's a big part. He'll get out there and drive cars in some of these NASCAR commercials. So a very big part of the community with this right here. Always great to see. But I wanted you just to, once again, I want you to look at the whole set here, because this is a green screen. This whole studio is a green screen in Fox Sports Studios. And what's interesting about it is because the walls don't go like this. They're beveled. They round up. If you don't pay attention, you can step right through that damn thing. That's the way all these green screen sound stages like this are. So you have to pay attention to where you're stepping and everything else. Thankfully, everybody does that, and everything turned out really well. And also this part right here, because I believe there is another commercial. It's a short spot with just Bowyer sitting in a chair doing a burnout. And you can see right here, this is the burnout taking place. This is how everybody's doing this. Such a great crew. We're able to do this stuff. We're able to move along really quickly with each shot. And I'll show you this one right here. This is the actual pit stall. So if you take a look at this and then take a look again at the way it looked right here, man, just a great job. It's just so amazing how all these things come together like this to look so realistic, when in reality, this is what we're in right here. And while we're here, you can see the storyboard right here. Everything's just X'd off as it move along and go along through. So just such a cool and coordinated effort to bring this commercial together. And again, man, just such a great group of people. Now, my holding area where we were at actually was in the happy hour studio, and I got to check this out and see all the history and nostalgia that Harvick has in there on his set. And I'm going to tell you, it's really cool to see that. He's actually got a big sound stage for that setup for that show, and it was really cool to take that in and just see all the aspects that he has there. And, man, I'm going to tell you, I really wanted to talk to these guys. I was really hoping to get Clint and Kevin on this episode right here, talk with them. Unfortunately, one of them's plane was late coming in. I think they flew into Concord that morning. So by the time they got there, got through wardrobe, hair, and makeup, and everything else, they come out and did their lines, took care of their part, and then they had to dip out. So I didn't get them on there. I wish I would have been able to, because, man, I used to be up at Hornaday's, around Hornaday's house back when Harvick was just coming in here back when Harvick used to sleep on the couch. So, and I've done Harvick's double work in the past, so we've had some great conversations about some of the old days and people that are mutual friends. So I was hoping we'd get into that. We didn't, but somewhere down the road we'll make that happen again. But man, I just wanted to show you all this stuff. I hope you enjoyed all of this. I've got more commercials coming out. I got a really big one coming out. I got to deal with a manufacturer in NASCAR, and it's me and a very high-profile driver. Let's just say that somebody gets a lot of talk and a lot of time and a lot of people's minds. And I look forward to this one coming out, because it's really a heartfelt commercial. And I'm not in the full pit crew gear in this one. I'm just in regular crew gear. There's a lot to it. So I look forward to everybody seeing that one. Should be out really soon. Plus, I just wrapped on an automotive parts supplier who is a sponsor of a former NASCAR champion who's still out there, still a young man out there racing. And I'm the on-camera principal for their new campaign. So I look forward to everybody seeing that stuff as well. Keep your eyes open. And also on top of that, I'm trying to get my ass in some seat time this year. Trying to work on some things right now. I'm looking to run a race or two maybe out there in the Summer Shootout and Legends Car Series Charlotte Moore Speedway. So I'm working on some things with that. Also, some things in the works to get behind the wheel of a dirt car again here. So hopefully have some cool episodes. Don't look for me to be setting the world on fire out there or trying to go out there and win or anything. Just going out and have some fun, do some episodes, provide some good content, and just have some good damn times, man. That's what I'm all about. Some good times and having fun. So hopefully it all pans out. The irons are in the fire. Let's just see if the fire gets stoked enough. But anyways, man, I'm glad to be back here. I've said this different times. This year, if you follow my show, you know this year has been it's been a hell of a year for me. So this is like my Daytona episode. This is Daytona for me right here because I'm kicking it off. And I'm back and going to be out filming at another shop here this week with a different form of racing, circle track racing. They do run some road courses as well, but some behind the scenes with some cool aspects of that. Because I want people to see some different things that everybody else isn't providing. And I think some of these other journeymen, some of these other things, they need to be seen. That's going to be a focus of mine. So hope you join me for that. But once again, man, hope everybody out there is having a great day. And as always, we'll see you at the checkered flag.